Imagine for a moment that there is a secret spot in the male body capable of completely transforming your circulation, your energy, and your performance, even after the age of 50. A single oversight and it may be stealing your confidence in ways no pill could ever repair. Every week I see men arrive frustrated, embarrassed, and hopeless, with the feeling that what once worked naturally now simply fails. I assure you this is not just about getting older. It is something much deeper, a phenomenon happening inside your own body. And there is a solution almost no one knows about. This is not theory. Years of professional training and the stories of countless patients confirm it. Modern science supports what traditional medicine had sensed for centuries. This tiny point, when stimulated correctly, can restore circulation, relax tense pelvic muscles, and reactivate responses you thought were lost forever. So if you have noticed changes down there, slower flow, reduced sensitivity, or the effort it now takes to perform, keep reading. In the next few minutes, you will discover exactly where this point is, how to massage it safely, and why even 1 minute a day can make an enormous difference. Believe me, once you understand what is happening inside your body, you will never look at your health the same way again. I have seen it again and again. A man reaches 50 and almost overnight, things begin to change in unexpected ways. Circulation slows, sensitivity decreases, and what used to happen automatically now requires effort or simply stops happening. Many give up and say it is just aging, but that is not the whole truth. What is really happening inside the body is far more surprising and at the same time more solvable than most people imagine. The pelvic floor muscles, which control everything from urination to erections, become a strange paradox. They are tight and weak at the same time. Think of an elastic band stretched too far. It feels rigid, but it has lost its elasticity. Add years of sitting too much, chronic stress, and hormonal decline, and you get the perfect storm in the lower part of the body. The result is slower circulation, compressed nerves, and a sense that the vitality you once trusted is starting to disappear. I remember a patient named Mark, 57 years old. He arrived frustrated and ashamed, convinced that his best years were behind him. But when I explained what was truly happening in his body, his entire perspective changed, because knowledge brings power back. And the science is clear. Studies show that by the age of 60, up to 60% of men experience some degree of pelvic floor dysfunction. However, most have no idea that there is a simple, medication-free solution. And here is the interesting part. The area most people ignore contains the key to reversing these changes naturally and safely in only 1 minute a day. But to unlock it, you first need to know about a point almost no one talks about. And that is exactly what we will explore now. After showing Mark and many others what was happening in their bodies, the same question always came up. Is there really something I can do without depending on pills? And this is where modern medicine finally connects with what Eastern traditions had whispered for centuries. For years, Western practitioners ignored the idea that targeted massage and pressure points could improve male health. It seemed too alternative, not scientific enough. But today, this is no longer the case. Before continuing, I would love to know something to connect with our community. From which city or country are you watching us? Write it in the comments. I enjoy getting to know people who genuinely care about their health, and it allows me to create content that is more useful and meaningful for you and your region. Let us get straight to the point. These days, physical therapists apply pelvic floor massage to men with chronic dysfunction. Urologists recommend it discreetly to support prostate health, and clinical research strongly supports it. A study from 2020 published in the Journal of Men's Health showed that pressure point therapy improved circulation and reduced symptoms of erectile difficulties in more than 70% of participants. This is not a placebo effect. It is a tangible and measurable change. It is often compared to ignoring a congested intersection. The cars are stuck, but a skilled traffic officer can restore the flow in minutes. This traffic officer exists inside your body, and the point where it works is more powerful than most men ever imagine. If you have ever wondered why stress, sitting too much, and the passage of time seem to steal your vitality, the truth is that it is not only in your mind. It is in your blood vessels, nerves, and muscles. And the good news is that all three can be stimulated by a point almost no one knows. This brings us to the exact location that holds the key, an area most people do not even think about until it stops working. Where is this mysterious point I am talking about? It is called the perineum, or what ancient Chinese medicine calls the $1,000,000 point. Imagine the space between the scrotum and the anus, right in the middle. I know it is not an easy topic to mention, but this point is like the central station of male health. The main blood vessels that supply the penis pass through it, and the key nerves that carry pleasure signals run across it. The root of the penis is anchored there and connects directly to the prostate. When this spot becomes tense, circulation slows down, the nerves malfunction, and the entire system feels blocked. But when you massage it, it is like opening a blocked dam. Blood begins to flow again, the nerves are freed, and the body starts responding in ways many believed were gone forever. One of my patients, Stephen, said, "I felt more change after 1 week focusing on this point than I ever did after years of medication." And he is not alone. Clinical therapists use this exact point in pelvic floor rehabilitation because it truly works. It is not just tradition, it is anatomy and physiology in action. And now comes the part most men never get to hear. Finding this point is surprisingly simple, and learning how to stimulate it correctly does not require complicated tools or uncomfortable visits. Once you know how to do it safely, you will understand why so many specialists consider this one of the most overlooked secrets of male vitality. But identifying the point is only half the battle. What truly matters is how to stimulate it correctly, and that is what we are going to explain now. Now that you know where this $1,000,000 point is located, the next question is obvious. How do you work with it safely and effectively? Men are always reminded that this is not about strength, it is about precision and consistency. Think of it less like a gym workout and more like learning to play an instrument with delicacy. Conscious practice generates the best results. This is what is recommended. The simplest position is sitting at the edge of a chair or lying down with your knees bent. Use your index and middle finger together and press gently on the midpoint between the scrotum and the anus. If you notice a slightly softer and more sensitive area, that is the correct spot. Begin with the same pressure you would use to touch a ripe tomato, firm but without poking harshly. Once you find it, make small circular movements, 30 seconds clockwise and 30 seconds counterclockwise. Some men respond better to a pressure and release pattern, 5 seconds of pressure and 5 seconds of rest. Others prefer a gentle up and down movement, almost like a pulse. The key is not to cause bruising or force anything. This tissue is delicate, and when it is stimulated properly, it responds quickly. A patient named Richard mentioned that at first it felt uncomfortable, but after a week, he said it was as if his body suddenly remembered how it is supposed to function. That is exactly what happens. Circulation improves, the nerves are released, and tension dissolves. But there is an important detail many men ignore. The massage can be done dry, but the right oil not only makes it more comfortable, it enhances the benefits. Choosing the correct one can make the difference between modest results and changes that truly transform your life. Here are the oils that genuinely work and why they matter more than you might imagine. When this is explained, many are surprised. They expect the massage alone to be enough, but the oil can completely change the outcome. It is not only about lubrication, it is about chemistry, absorption, and circulation. The first oil most often recommended is castor oil. It has been used for centuries in traditional practices, and modern science supports it. It contains ricinoleic acid, a powerful anti-inflammatory compound that penetrates deeply into the tissue. This means that when you combine the massage with castor oil, you stimulate circulation not only mechanically, but chemically. Many men describe a warm, gentle sensation afterward, which indicates that the blood is moving again. For more sensitive skin, virgin coconut oil is recommended. It absorbs quickly, is naturally antibacterial, and helps support hormonal balance. A patient named Daniel laughed when he mentioned it and said that it actually smells nice, so his wife does not mind when he uses it. And sometimes the simplest oils are the most practical. Then there is black seed oil, a bit more exotic but incredibly powerful. It contains thymoquinone, a compound studies have shown to improve circulation and even support testosterone levels. It is harder to find and more expensive, but those who use it say it is worth every penny. For those who like to experiment, mixing oils can be a complete game changer. A base of castor oil and coconut oil with a few drops of essential oils like peppermint for circulation, rosemary for vitality, or sandalwood for reproductive health creates what could be called a circulation cocktail. Just remember that essential oils are strong, and you should not use more than 3 or 4 drops per ounce. But oils are only part of the equation. To understand why this technique is so effective, you need to see what is happening beneath the surface, how pressure and circulation work together to unlock your body's hidden potential. And this brings us to the science behind what feels almost like magic. Every time this is explained to men, they ask the same thing. What is really happening inside my body when I do this? It is a key question because understanding the science makes it easier to commit to the practice. Here is what happens. First, the massage works like a pump. Each pressure and release pushes stagnant blood and pulls in fresh blood, bringing oxygen and nutrients while removing waste. It is the same principle athletes use when they alternate tension and relaxation to speed up recovery. Second, the nerves in this area are often compressed by years of tight muscles and poor posture. Gentle massage releases them, like clearing the static from an old radio. Suddenly, the signals of pleasure and function can flow clearly again. Patients often describe it as if the lights turned back on. Third, this point is located just below the prostate. Stimulating circulation there nourishes the prostate indirectly without invasive treatments, which means better urinary health, hormonal support, and less inflammation. For those who have struggled with urgency or weak flow, this can feel like a lifeline. And finally, there is the nervous system. This technique activates the parasympathetic branch, the rest and digest mode, reducing cortisol, lowering stress, and preparing the body for its natural function. No pill can replicate this balance of blood flow, nerves, muscles, and hormones working in harmony. But here is the crucial detail in the science. It only matters if it is applied at the right moment and with the right rhythm. Timing can determine whether your results will succeed or fail, and most men have no idea when their body is truly ready to respond. That is exactly what will be explained next. One lesson learned after years of helping men is this. You can have the correct technique, but if you apply it at the wrong time, the results will always be weak or inconsistent. Timing is essential. So when is the right moment to do this massage? There are 2 key times. First, in the morning. Testosterone levels reach their natural peak during the early hours of the day, which means your body is ready to improve circulation, energy, and recovery. Just 1 minute of this routine upon waking can make a noticeable difference for your entire day. Second, at night, right before going to sleep. At that time, your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for resting, repairing, and regenerating, is more active. 1 minute of gentle stimulation helps circulation, reduces tension, and supports nighttime and early morning erections. Regarding frequency, it is best to treat it like exercise. In the beginning, do it every other day for a week so your body can adapt. Then, once a day, 1 or 2 minutes at most. A single minute every day is far more effective than overdoing it and creating discomfort. Consistency always beats intensity. A patient named Frank mentioned that at first he did it only twice a week and already noticed changes. But when he turned it into a daily habit, the results multiplied. That is the key. Small, regular practice builds momentum, just like the gym strengthens your muscles. However, there is something many men do incorrectly, and it can reverse all their progress. The mistakes are simple, but they are the traps that prevent real improvement. The most important ones to avoid will be explained now, because knowing them keeps you on the fast track instead of going backward. After years teaching this technique, the same mistakes repeat again and again. They are the reason many people give up too soon. The first mistake is pressing too hard. Remember, this is not a deep tissue sports massage. The tissue here is delicate. If you treat it like a stubborn knot in your shoulder, you will end up sore or bruised. The correct touch should feel firm but comfortable, never painful. The second mistake is impatience. Many men try it for 3 days, do not see dramatic changes, and quit. That is like going to the gym once and expecting to have defined abs. The benefits are cumulative. Studies show that circulation and nerve conduction improve gradually with consistent stimulation, becoming noticeable in 1 or 2 weeks and significant in about 1 month. The third mistake is using the wrong oils or not using any oil at all. Petroleum jelly or random lotions can clog pores and irritate the skin. Dry massage can create friction that does more harm than good. Natural oils like castor, coconut, or black seed oil are not only safer, they actively support the process. And finally, there is bad posture. If you strain too much, if your hand hurts, or if you try to do it through clothing, you will never maintain the habit. Comfort and skin-to-skin contact are essential. One patient always said that if the position is uncomfortable, the habit will not last. The good news is that every mistake can be easily avoided once you know what to look for. When done correctly, the benefits go far beyond sexual performance. They impact almost every area of male health in surprising ways. So let us talk about those hidden benefits that may impress you. What astonishes men the most is not just regaining their performance, it is the domino effect throughout the body. Improving circulation in this small area does not stay limited to that spot. It influences the entire system. Men who commit to this practice often notice better bladder control, the end of post-urination dribbling, and fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom. This happens because improved blood flow nourishes the prostate and strengthens the muscles that control urination. Others experience relief in areas they did not initially connect to this routine. Chronic hip tension, persistent lower back pain, and even pelvic discomfort often begin to fade. The pelvic floor is part of the body's core. When it becomes balanced, the rest of the system stabilizes as well. A patient named Ethan shared that his 5-year struggle with hip pain disappeared within weeks after starting the routine, something his physical therapist could hardly believe. Physical performance also improves. Cyclists, runners, and even men who simply want to feel more solid while walking report better endurance, faster recovery, and greater stability. And then there is the mental aspect. When circulation improves and tension decreases, your mood naturally rises. I have watched men go from feeling stuck and discouraged to focused and confident, sometimes in just a few weeks. These are not rare cases. They are consistent patterns seen again and again. All of it comes from paying attention to a part of the body that most men completely ignore. But if you want to boost these benefits even further, there are small habits that can amplify the results in a significant way. Simple, practical tricks make this routine even more powerful. By now, you can see how effective one focused minute a day on this hidden point can be. But what patients discover is that when they add just a few supporting habits, the results do not simply improve, they multiply. Think of it like tuning a guitar. The massage is the main string, but these habits tighten the others, creating harmony throughout your body. The first is deep breathing. Inhaling slowly for a count of 4, holding for 4, and exhaling for 4 activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the same branch this massage stimulates. Men who combine both practices often describe feeling calmer, centered, and more in control. Second, applying a warm compress before the massage. Just 5 minutes of heat relaxes the tissue, opens the blood vessels, and helps the oils absorb better. Some even experiment with cold afterward to create a contrast, stimulating even stronger circulation. Third, stretching the hip flexors and inner thigh muscles. Poses like the butterfly or the so-called happy baby may sound funny, but they release tension that travels directly into the pelvic floor. Freeing that tension makes the massage far more effective. And of course, hydration. Drinking half your body weight in ounces of water each day keeps your blood flow balanced. The more hydrated you are, the better your circulation, recovery, and nerve function. When men combine these small habits with their daily 1-minute routine, the transformation is remarkable. But there is a bigger picture here. This does not only solve existing problems, it is preventive maintenance, protecting your vitality for years to come. And that is the main message. This practice can be the simplest and smartest investment you make for your health. Remember this, decline after 50 is not a life sentence. With just 1 minute a day, using the right technique and the right oils, you can restore circulation, release tension, and protect your vitality in ways most men never hear about. This simple practice changes not only performance, but also confidence, mood, and overall well-being. You deserve to feel strong, connected, and alive, not just for yourself, but for the people who love you and depend on you. Taking care of your health is not selfish. It is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself for the future. If this message resonated with you, save it so you can return to it whenever you need. And share this information with someone who should hear it. I would love to know what you think. Would you try this 1-minute daily routine for 30 days? Tell us in the comments. Sometimes the smallest and most overlooked solutions are the ones that create the biggest difference. Even in your best years, the change you need may still be ahead of you.